from European countries or the US, or like somewhere where you don't really are you are not really under a dictatorship, autocracy, police controlled state. When they say that Russians are not protesting hard enough, like, come on. I mean, it's difficult. It really is. It's nearly impossible to organize something, and the protests have to be organized. And at the same time, there were like a series of huge protests in Belarus, and nothing happened. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't protest. We should, but it's not it's not like one thing that has to be done. And it's like something happened. It's not that simple. It's complex. I'm not in Russia. I'm allowed to speak whatever I think. But if I was in Russia, for a while, some people get fines, which is not the worst thing. Some people just like get raped, or some people disappear. And that's the thing. That's the thing that everybody has to understand when they say that Russians. Gosh, I hope it's not so loud here, and you can hear me, guys. But that's the thing when people say that like Russians, when people say that Russians are not protesting hard enough, like, okay, if you say so, come and help and protest, and we'll see how you do. And people like the fact that it's highly freaking dangerous and disorganized, hard to organize, and people still do this. Okay? And also the propaganda machine is very strong in Russia. Even it's just like really strong. There are literally farms of bots, of people who are hired to even comment on stuff online and in support of government, of course. So it confuses a lot of normal people. It confuses people who don't really understand what's going on, who, for example, they don't really speak English, so they can't really read foreign sources. But it's a whole other topic. And you know what? I'm not a professional, but I just want people to understand it's not so simple, and to just stop saying that Russians just don't do anything. And yes, now a lot of people are getting out of Russia because they understand that our government just wants to kill us, basically, and they don't want to be killed. And some people compare it, some people are like, ooh, it's these people who run away, they are cowards, they just don't want to serve their motherland. And we have this saying, kind of a payback to your motherland, you have a loan from your motherland, kind of thing. I'm not sure how to say that, but we don't have to support all our decisions of our government, and it's not a betrayal of your country. I think it's the opposite. If you don't agree with everything what the government does, you just want the best for your country, because Russia is really fucking amazing with the resources that we have. So it could be just beaming, it could be businesses, it just could be so good, and the potential is so high, and also all the corruptioners. And I know corruption exists everywhere, but it's unbelievable how a secretary of some assistant of another assistant in this department has like assistant of assistant of assistant has like some really unimaginable luxury things, yachts, huge apartments in like St. Petersburg or Moscow, while we normal people are like counting, like, I kid you not, like, I sometimes think like, oh yeah, like this chair like I need to buy a chair for my home. This chair costs $10 more. Damn. Okay, I'll buy the one who costs less, because it's not such a big difference. And $10, like, you can do stuff with $10. So it's ridiculous, you know. And yeah, I feel kind of like trash in a way sometimes because of that, because they have really unimaginable sources and we don't. And now we are even more screwed because of that, because nothing freaking works here and like abroad. So it's not easy, and there are still a lot of people who are protesting. And don't forget about Navalny, who was attempted to be murdered, and then he got in jail, and now he's there for over 600 days and being treated awfully and tortured, and like he fought. And when people say that, yeah, Russians just didn't protest hard enough, like they just erase all the efforts of people who really did something, who sacrificed their freedom, sacrificed their lives, like Boris Nemtsov. It's another Russian oppositioners. Only Russians can change this situation. There are millions of them. Yeah, sure. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hi guys. Hi everyone who says hi. Hi to you back. Yeah, Russia needs huge revolution. Only people can do the change. I mean, yeah, there needed to be a revolution, but it's not just done by protests. And it's hard. There are like millions of people who work for the government, for police, so for like people who just kill like and beat those who go on streets to protests. It's hard. And then there's all these cameras that recognize your face, so if you go to the protests and you weren't arrested, later you could be, because they just film you and then they look for you. Yeah, shitty presidents, that's like the thing. But and also like the thing is that it just didn't become so bad suddenly. It was becoming worse and worse and worse very gradually. So we have what we have. I don't really want to speak in Russian, because the majority of people don't speak Russian here, and my followers, like 95% of them are not Russian speakers. Will I move back eventually? I don't really want to be honest. I don't think so. But of course I really would love to go visit and stuff like that. I don't know. Some people want, but also like the climate I don't like. Yeah, and it's just hard for me to be in Russia. What world can do to fix the situation? I really don't know. I don't know. But just please stop blaming Russians, and please be more understanding, because we also suffer in a way that just everything went bad, and our country is getting poorer, and like less and less money, less and less business. People are losing jobs, people are moving away, it's just like crashing, you know, and it's not good for anybody. And plus, when everybody just kind of hates you because you are Russian, it's like, you know, I didn't vote for Putin, never. And when he was changing our constitution, I also voted against it. So, you know. People leave Russia now, or they get mobilized to the war. For now, they kind of can leave, but I've been hearing already some reports. I don't know how true that is, because there are also a lot of fakes, and we have to be mindful of it. There are a lot of fakes. But I've been hearing some reports that some people were like denied the exit of country, but we need to just keep reading the updates. Maybe it's not like official yet, you know, so maybe it will become official soon. But now a lot of my friends left the country during these 2-3 days, which is really crazy for me, because they felt like they had to leave very fast. And you know, I left Russia too, but I didn't feel like I felt like I need to leave fast, but I didn't feel like I had to leave during 2 days. You know, I had more time. I was more like relaxed about it, so it wasn't as bad. Actually, Elijah and I, we decided to leave like almost right away when the war started in February 24th of February. And then at first we were gonna leave on April 10th, but there were a lot of problems with our flight to Turkey, and we managed to move our flight from Turkey to Argentina to May, and then we bought another tickets to Turkey by different airline. And yeah, we just wanted a little more time so we can, I don't know, it was just like really scary too because we didn't know anybody here, like literally not even one person I knew personally here. And it was just, I don't know, I was trying to find out a lot of information about this country and how things are here, but I just couldn't really realize how everything is here because I didn't even know anyone. And when we arrived, it was really hard too because like no one met us, you know, we were just by ourselves and I wasn't sure about my Spanish. And actually it was better than I expected, but it was kind of hard just to be two of us and just trying to figure out how to do things, how to exchange money, how to buy like the public transportation card, how to put money on it, how to connect the internet, where to buy food, because when we arrived we didn't exchange a lot of money in the airport because you get just twice less in the airport if you exchange the money, and of course we wanted to save the money, so we didn't exchange a lot. And we arrived to our Airbnb, which was very far from everything. It was nice neighborhood, but so far, and we just didn't know what to do. Our suitcases didn't arrive, we didn't have anything, we didn't have food, and we didn't have money to buy food. At first we needed to go somewhere to exchange it, and we couldn't really go somewhere to exchange it because we didn't have the public transportation card. And then we just like walked there. Well, obviously I was on a wheelchair, so we walked there. It was far because we lived far and there was like nothing like that. And then we couldn't just find anywhere where we can exchange the money, and we didn't have the internet. And then we found it finally, like very accidentally. And then we could exchange money, and then we were just looking for the card, the public transportation, and they never had it. We went to like 10 places maybe, and then we just finally got it, and we could buy some food. And the next day we bought the SIM cards with internet, because yeah, we had like the public transportation cards, but we didn't know where to go because we didn't have internet. Yeah, I mean, we could have prepared better, just like download the map, but you know, it was more interesting, I guess, that way. So, Gorcha, привет. I am in Argentina. Сори, по-русски не могу говорить, потому что большинство тут все-таки не русскоговорящие. How do you feel about Bill Browder and Sergei Magnitsky? Will you ever, when in a revolution, like the president move away simply like that, there is nothing wrong with Russia? Well, maybe then you can come to Russia and live in Russia if there is nothing wrong, and enjoy going to army and dying in a war that like you are not even where you are the aggressor. Yeah, if you think it's fine, then sure, do that. And please don't bother other people who don't want to do that, though. The truck. The phone is like almost dying, but I still have some time. Just trying to catch up with all you guys are messaging me. It's not the people, it's the politicians and the president. It's true. You know what? In Russia, like, Russia is a pretty homophobic country. Like, really. And there are a lot of homophobic people too. Not everybody, of course, but a lot. And I remember like 2000s, kind of early 2000s. I remember what was on TV and stuff, and it was so different. And it seemed like Russia was moving to be more like open-minded and stuff. And there were some artists that everybody knew they were gay, and it was fine. Yeah, some people judged, but overall it was fine. And they performed, and they were shown on all like the channels. Yeah, but now, like, if somebody would say they were gay, they just wouldn't show them on federal channels, and they wouldn't get any jobs and stuff. So a lot of people just hide it. And all my gay friends back in Russia, they never talk about it openly. Like, they don't want anyone at work to find out about their sexuality, because they are really afraid to be judged and to be just to have problems about it, which really sucks. It's not anybody's business, but it should be fine if someone knows that like you're a guy and you have a boyfriend, and if you want to go to some like party with your boyfriend, that should be fine, you know. But they didn't do it. Yeah. Norway way. Sorry, I didn't understand really the question about Norway. Where's Kalin? Yeah, Russians are going to everywhere now, everywhere they can. And I know that Kazakhstan, Georgia, Armenia, they don't close their borders to Russia, and they just even allow people to get in there more easily, which is amazing. And people should just remember this always and be grateful for that, because a lot of like European countries, they just decided to not let Russians in. Only maybe if they have like a relative there. Some of them just, yeah. Kina. What is Kina? Sorry. Yeah. Hi, Italy. Where are you now? In Europa? No, I am I'm in Argentina, really far from everything. Привет. Where are you now? Yes, I'm in Argentina. I'm in Argentina. You guys haven't heard that. В Аргентине. Hola, hola, hola. Hola, Brazil. So happy you're all making it. Well, I don't know like what counts as making it, because it's like I'm not rich, guys. Like, some might think I'm like rich and stuff, and I get money from parents or something, or I made so much money on 90 day. No, guys, I'm not freaking rich, so it bothers me, because I do have to like be mindful of what I'm spending my money on, and I'm always thinking about, oh my gosh, do I have enough? I don't know. And it just like kind of sucks in sometimes, in a way. I mean, I still have the privilege to do some fun things and to just live in another country, but it's not that glamorous as it could seem, you know. It's yeah. What do you think about Masa Amini's death? Well, I think it's terrible. What happened in Iran, and what is happening, and what has been happening for a while now. I think it's just like killing a person, and just because not wearing hijab properly is awful. And why women always have to endure this? I don't understand why women always have to just deal with some bullshit. I don't know. I'm sorry for cursing, but women are like the best of the best of the best. Like, I know so many girls who are amazing, who are strong, smart. Like, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, but they are just like such a freaking force. I never really feel this with guys. Yeah, I admire some guys, but I just don't feel like the freaking force from the majority. But from the majority of my girlfriends, I feel that. So I love women. Women are amazing, and they shouldn't suffer from some injustice. I mean, nobody should suffer from injustice, but gosh, leave women alone. Let them wear what they want and when they want it. Как в целом люди настроены по отношению к России, там, где ты находишься. So in Argentina, people don't really care if you're Russian. They don't hate you for being Russian, which is amazing. But some people even like kind of support the politics of Russia, because they kind of hate the United States, and obviously Russia is like against the United States. So they are like, oh, we'll side with you, which is not good. Yes, my family is safe, but I'm still very worried about them, and they didn't leave. I really want them to leave, but they are like, what are we gonna do there? Like, how are we gonna make money? My parents still work and here, and really what they are gonna do, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Okay, let's see more. Yes, I still speak to and yes, my friend is saying that now about gay propaganda. We have a law, and they are pushing it like even harder, because before you weren't allowed to do gay propaganda on minors, because apparently people are afraid if you show them like how two men are holding hands, the minors are gonna become gay. Oh my gosh, well that's not how it works though. And now they just want to prohibit gay propaganda to everybody, not just minors, to everyone, which is crazy, because they also don't really define what gay propaganda is, and it could be anything. Basically, again, if you're holding a hand with another, if you're a guy, you're holding another guy's hand and someone doesn't like it, they can complain about it, and you can get in trouble for that. Yes, yesterday in police department in Moscow, one activist against war was raped by police. Exactly, that's what's happening. And he was like reading poems where he was expressing his opinion against what our government is doing, which is like a poem. Like, he was reading a fucking poem. Like, how unthinkable it is to be raped for that. To be raped in general, it's unthinkable, but like especially for that, by police that is getting paid supposedly to protect us citizens. How crazy is that? How twisted is it's like, I don't understand this, It's just really heartbreaking. Thanks to Kazakhstan and Georgia. Yes, thanks to them. In the US, we do understand your stance. We do have been represented by a leader that brought a lot of shame that we did not agree with. Yeah, that's really... Yeah, I know. It's like... I just wish everybody would be like nice and happy. Is it too much to ask? Tell me. World would help Russians, but is afraid that it would be special impression to save Russians in other country. Yeah, well, I understand the fear too, because, yeah, for sure. What about saving Russians in Russia? Because a lot of people, they don't have access to like clean water, to canalization, to like a lot of things, to food. Yeah, what about that first? And then we can see like what's up. No. Hi from Switzerland. Hey. What do you think about Argentinian men? Well, I think they are very cute, good looking, but also very irresponsible, but also fun. Yeah, that's what I think about them. But I'm getting used to like this irresponsibility, and I'm just being irresponsible back, which is kind of nice too, because like if you agree to meet someone and then you don't feel like this, and you can just like disappear into thin air, and it's okay for everyone. Like people don't mind that usually, but that can also be done to you. So does the country provide any help since you're fleeing a war? Which country? Russia? No, of course not. Country here? Well, Argentina, it's like you kind of have to count on yourself here. Argentina has a lot of their own problems. So my sons are forced, might be the one you have met. I wish, yeah. Okay. Can I Cash App or Venmo you? Well, if you really want, you can Venmo Caleb and he'll send me, because nothing works for me. My PayPal is blocked. I'm gonna try to unblock it, because my friend said that she was able to do it somehow through a support, proving that she doesn't live in Russia. So I don't know, maybe it will work. Yeah, I talk with Caleb. I pray for no war where in the world. Yeah, I too, because no one deserves that. Hello from Germany. Hi, Italy. Italia. Yes, I've been to Italy a few times and I love it. I think this would be impossible in another country. The evilness that we saw in people of Russia who work for the state. There are a lot of evil people who know they will let me say that again. There are a lot of evil people in the world who become that evil because they know that there will be no consequences of doing what they want. So I think it's just kind of getting rolling. Maybe they start small, but then they just more and more and more and more and more. They are just like testing the boundaries and stuff. So I feel that's the case. So maybe they don't start off as evil, but then they just become more evil and greedy and all kinds of awful things. Lovely from Cameo. We've been thinking of you all so much. I'm glad you're safe. How can I send help? Hi, girl. It's fine for now. But you can always order Cameos. I'm always happy to do it. Elijah is always happy to do it. We both on our joint Cameo also very happy to do it. So you can also order that if you want. How can you find Caleb's Cash App? You can just message me. I think I have it. I don't know. I also feel just weird if you guys just send me mine just like this. Better, okay, if you guys really want to kind of help, you can order some drawing from me and I'll draw you something and you can pay me for that. Because what do I think about the fake news being spread about Europe on Russian TV? Guys, it's like propaganda in Russia has been there for a while already. It's been like for I don't know how long. And it started with, of course, not so much, but then it was more and more and more, and the channels were acquired. Some channels before they were belonged to some oligarchs, and they used propaganda there too, but we could get different views. But then the state eventually would just like buy everything or just take over, and then all we got was just propaganda on TV in different ways. But ciao de Florence, ciao Firenze, I've been there. Namibia, hi. I'm from Poland. I'm waiting for these words from Russians like you're doing, but they are quiet. So about the real thing that you can get in jail for just expressing, and it's just really dangerous, I think, and you can really get something for that. That's why people are, I guess, afraid. Yes, there could be some people who don't care, but a lot of people are really afraid. Even when I still was in Russia, I just couldn't shut up, and I got some threats about my words, where people would be like, committee your posts because we think you discredit Russian army and they're investigating you now and stuff like that. I don't think something would have happened, but cool. And you never know if it's like true or not true, Hi, I hope you and your family are safe and healthy. I'm a therapist for children and youth in the US, and I'm wondering how mental health is viewed in Russia. Mental health is getting more popular in Russia, and I know a lot of people who are getting therapy. More and more people are getting into therapy, but it's still pretty stigmatized, because some people are like, why do I need therapy? I'm not a crazy person, So there's a lot of stereotypes around it, but some people are getting it, but it's also hard to afford it. Usually it's not so cheap, and it's a long process. So the therapy, it's not cheap there. And I'll tell you that also school doesn't do anything good for mental health, because in our school we actually, and I talked to a lot of people around Russia about it, from other cities, not just mine. And my city is good, and my school was good. My city is big, and our school was not elite, but it was a good school with 3 languages. But we still were shamed a lot by the teachers. We were told we are nothing, and teachers would yell at us teachers would be just really, really, really freaking mean, and we weren't allowed too much to express our opinions. And it's obviously much worse in smaller places. So we have to like keep that in mind. And of course, not all the teachers are like that. There were amazing teachers, very nice. But when I was in the US and I studied there for a year in a school, I really could see a difference. Teachers in the US were so much more casual with you, more like kind of friends. They weren't like you, they weren't yelling at you, they weren't telling you a lot of insults. Yeah. Так. Is he with you now, Elijah? Yeah, I don't know if he's home though, I'm not sure. Лина, привет, вы еще дружите с Калибом? Yes, да. You marry me? Well, depends. Love this chat, you should do more. Thank you, I'll do more. What Russia is doing to Ukraine is very bad. Yes, I agree. I agree with you completely. It's really freaking bad.